What's going on, everyone? Promise another ghost story, and here it is. This one happened when I was about 16. It's really scary. It's called The House. So my story begins on a late Saturday night. It was me and my friend had really gotten into the paranormal like I did, but he was more into it than I was. I wanted to find a place to experience something or anything like that, maybe even an abandoned house, and he knew of an abandoned house that was down the street from him. So I asked him, let's go. At the time, I didn't drive, but he did. So he came and picked me up, and we drove to this place. We had to park in at a gas station in order to get to this house. You know, you had to cross a busy street, and it was set back a good amount to the woods. So we get there, we park the car. We brought flashlights. I had a backpack. I had water bottles in it. I also had like an old police baton. I wasn't looking to injure anybody. It was just personal protection. It wasn't a bad neighborhood. It was a little town, but who knows what was going to be in there? Be that homeless, anything, animals. Um, anyways, so we crossed the street and we start heading into the woods. The woods were pretty dense, with branches, and we had to kind of walk through it. Um, then you start walking up this trail, and then you start hitting stones, a stone driveway, and you finally get to the house, and you stare at the house. Basically, from the driveway, kind of came like this, and you kind of staring at the house, and the house was pretty creepy looking. I mean, there was dead trees that were hanging over it. The house looked like it had been there for years. Um, it just looked like something out of a horror movie. So he had been there before. I had never been here before. So we walked around the house and we came to the back. The back had been what looked like an old porch, and we both walked up. And right as soon as you get into this house, it had looked like the family had just left. And there was no picking up and leaving. There was still the coffee table. There were still cups on the table. Story has it that there was a two elderly couple, and something happened. Um, a ghost or something. I'm not too sure of the story. Um, that they pretty much just slept. And there's so many stories about it. There's a story of a ghost. There's a story of werewolves. There's stories of vampires, and there's stories of a curse. Um, there had been so many stories about this place. So again, we get into the house. There's an old coffee table. There's still dishes in the sink. There was still dishes on the table. Um, and you can smell the must of the old house. And then we walked into the living room, and there was a couch, and there was a love seat, and there was a television. The television had obviously people had been here before and messed around, and the TV was smashed. Um, so we began using our tape recorder. So I sat down on the love seat. He had sat down on the couch, and where I was sitting, I could, the windows were right there, and you can't see anything. There's just pitch black. We just had we had a flashlight. It was like a mag light, and you could unscrew the top and place it on the bottom of it, creating sort of like a lamp or something, or lantern, if you will. Um, we put that on the table, and the way it was really cool. The lighting just made it more creepier because the light just gave off shadows off the walls. So we're sitting there, and um, we began asking questions. And out of the corner of my eye, when I was staring at the light, it almost looked like something appeared into my vision. And usually you see things out of the corner of your eyes, and I quickly looked to my left, and there's nothing there. But that sense that something was there was definite. And then the chill kind of ran on my back. So we went back to talking. We went to back to asking questions. Who's here? Can you make your presence known to us? And all of a sudden, we hear this immense crashing sound in the next room, and we both jumped up, and I literally jumped up out of the love seat in the couch, and we run into. You basically had to run to the next room, and it was an old dining room, and there was a table, and there was chairs, and there was this old china chest or display, and it looked like it had been thrown open, and all the china had been on the floor. And this is what we realized, that had fallen. All this glassware had fallen out of the cabinet, with no explanation at all to us how this had happened. So it wasn't something we brushed off, but we're trying to sit there and explain it. Maybe that us being in the house, kind of us moving our feet, kind of shook the floor and created, creating that should fall over, or whatever have you. This was the idea in our head. I think this was obviously just to make us not afraid or not scared. So as soon as we said, "Oh, this is nothing. This wasn't a ghost or anything," we hear the sound of something or someone open a door upstairs and kind of not necessarily footstep, but kind of take a slishing sound, kind of like they're dragging their feet upstairs. So I look at him and he looks at me. We both are just white in the face, but I really want at this point to experience something. So I said, "Let's go upstairs. Let's see what was up there." So the stairway kind of did you kind of walked up the stairs and had to go around and have to go around again. It was really weird stairs. And we get up to the top of the step, and there on our left is a bedroom. There on our right is another bedroom, and in front of us is a bathroom. The first bedroom was just a little bedroom. There's nothing to it. Then there was another bedroom over to the left of that bedroom, which was a master bedroom. And then to the right was another little bedroom, and then to that over was another bedroom where we believe we heard the sound from. So we walked in there, and there was nothing there. One of the windows had been smashed open, and the wind was blowing the curtains in. So we believe that maybe a branch had fallen into the room or something, or whatever. I think at this point we were trying to, again, not make ourselves afraid and kind of just calming ourselves down. And as soon as we did this, the sound somebody walking past the bathroom, and there was no confusing this noise. This was footsteps. This was a person walking past the bathroom. And I quickly turned around, and so did my friend, and there was nobody there. We ran out into the hallway, shined flashlights into each bedroom. We're not finding anything. And again, this was distinct footsteps, and you know that somebody is there. So we both, again, we checked every bedroom. We checked the beds. We checked the closets. There was nothing there. And at this point, we're both pretty afraid. But we wanted to carry on. We wanted to at least get some EVP. We wanted to get a picture, something to reward ourselves for doing this. And I started snapping pictures, and at the time I did have a digital camera, and I'm snapping pictures, and I'm getting orbs, and at that time I thought orbs were what I thought were ghosts. I'll explain that to another video. Get all these pictures, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting all these orbs, and I take another picture, and in the doorway, it looked as if there was a head appearing into the bedroom that we were standing in, and I just get the chill up my back. The hair stands on my arm, and I show this to my friend, and it is a very distinct photo. There's a person staring into the bedroom. You can't make out face or anything, but the silhouette of the person staring into the bedroom. So we both kind of felt trapped, if you will. I mean, if you can run, if it's still sitting there, it's in the hallway, it's standing in the doorway, but there's no other way out. So we beelined it for the door, ran out of the door and down the stairway, and we get back into the living room. And all of a sudden, we hear something running down the stairs. And again, distinctive footsteps running down the stairs. And I'm standing, the stairway is here. There's maybe a corner for you to go around into the living room. And I'm standing here. And I'm sitting there with a flashlight shaking. And I'm like, please, something appear. But at the same time, in my mind, my mind is saying run, but I'm frozen. I'm literally frozen. I cannot move, and nothing appears. But it got to the bottom of the stairs. Nothing's there, and all of a sudden, I turn to my friend, and his eyes. I want to say were like owl eyes. He is pale, and I turn, and I see a silhouette of what looked like a man in an old cowboy hat or something staring through the window at us. And I dropped my flashlight, and we both ran for the door that we had entered, and we ran out of the house running. And I remember looking back as I'm running, and I snapped a picture as I'm running. I stopped, snapped a picture, and kept on running. And get to the car, and we're both shaking. We're not talking. We both look at each other, and we couldn't believe it. So I'm looking through the photos in the car, and in the picture of the bedroom window is that said silhouette of with a cowboy hat, staring down at us or looking at us. Was obviously an epic night for the both of us. Like I always said, did I experience a paranormal happening, or did I experience paranormal activity? I don't know. But it all leads to there's no physical way for a person to be outside and be upstairs in the matter of 2 minutes, and that's how how long it took us to get from that exit to the gravel driveway and out. If I did experience paranormal activity, that was my first experience, was seeing a full body apparition. So that is another story. Hey guys, so I hope you liked that story. There's hundreds more to come. Again, keep subscribing, keep watching, and I guarantee you they get more scary.